Hi, my name is Karen. I've been married for 23 years. My husband and I have two cats. One is Miss Molly and the other one is Simon. I'm originally from Southern California and we currently live in Nevada, Las Vegas to be exact. I've been in marketing for over 40 years. Yeah, 40 years. Before moving to Las Vegas, my husband, Cliff, and I were living east of Lake Arrowhead. Like many of you, we also had full time jobs. In addition, both my husband and I had our own business. We had quite a good life. I was working as a general manager of an office supply store. Cliff was working at a newspaper, and our business was custom woodworking signage. We were fortunate enough to go on vacation almost every 3 months. Yeah, it was a great life. We were struggling to expand our business so we could actually quit our full time jobs, so we could become financially independent. Just like everyone out there, we wanted to do our own thing and be financially independent. Our business wasn't expanding as we had hoped. We had tried all the traditional strategies and tools to pump up our business. We began feeling that we would never be able to quit our full time jobs. We felt stressed about the fact that the years were slipping by. Well, how many of you remember back to October 2007 when the wildfires of California, about five at that time? Yes, they had been occurring before then, but obviously not like that. Obviously, we're aware of the fire in the area, but like so many others, we just prayed they wouldn't affect us. I mean, the week before, there had been a fire at the bottom of the mountain, and they easily contained it. Boy, were we wrong. We got even more frightened when they cut off all the electrical power to the mountain. We finally went to bed, not really sleeping. We pulled out the sleeper sofa right in front of the fireplace. Obviously, with no electric, we had no heat. We were just hoping and praying they would get the fire out like they always did. I felt like I was in a dream when we heard a bullhorn announcing, "Get off the mountain." We literally had 20 minutes to scramble through the house trying to get everything we could in the dark. It was almost midnight. Cliff and I loaded the car with our cats and whatever else we could fit and drove down the mountain. As we were driving away, I glanced back to look at what we were leaving behind. Looking forward, I remember seeing a caravan of cars moving down the mountain in what appeared to be slow motion. I kept telling myself that this must be a dream, and I was trying to wake myself up. I'm thinking it's only a dream, but actually it became a nightmare. What seemed to be a few days turned into a week. We scrambled for a place for our cats and ourselves to stay. We only had a few sets of clothes. Other people were in shelters. Some slept in their cars. Others, I can't even imagine what they did. Remember, there were people from 5 fires trying to find places to stay. When we were finally able to return home, only to be told our home had burned to the ground. Even knowing that, I still couldn't imagine that our home was gone. Until we drove up and I saw with my own eyes the burnt remains of what I knew was my home. My knees buckled under me and I crumbled to the ground. I felt like someone had literally punched me in the gut. I was in shock. I couldn't move. I couldn't process what had happened to us. I mean, I knew that fires happen, that other people had lost everything, that other people had experienced this type of devastation. But couldn't and wouldn't ever imagine that it happened to us. We had to let other choices, but I still didn't realize that we were going to have to start all over again. getting a place to stay, getting a second car because we had lost 3 in the fire, replacing everything you own. I mean, we had our lives, yes, that's the most important thing. But I mean, look around you and just imagine all the things you worked so hard for gone, poof, in seconds. Our wedding pictures, our childhood pictures, family heirlooms. We had lost Cliff's mother recently, so all of her things were in our home too. All the family heirlooms. All these things are irreplaceable. But we had no choice but to start all over again. I felt frustrated trying to get a rental that allowed for our cats, our babies. I felt lost because we couldn't get the insurance company to respond quickly enough. I lost my full-time job because the company I worked for also burned to the ground. We lost our woodworking business. It was in our home, in our outbuilding on the property. I also had to deal with the devastating emotion trauma of the uncertainty of our future. I had to come to terms with my life had changed completely. Several of our friends had lost their lives. We were mourning them. Several of our friends had lost their pets, their babies. We were mourning them. We decided to move from Southern California mountain area to Victorville, California, to the desert area. We began to rebuild our lives in a new direction, which years later led us to Las Vegas, Nevada. However painful this experience was, it did make me stronger and my marriage stronger. I realized that material possessions we no longer feel are so important. That relationships with my family and friends were the most important part of my life. I also realized that I will never take things for granted. That I am blessed for each day I spend with my family and friends. Last but not least, helping others is what makes my life fulfilled. So please, if you feel that having a fulfilled life and helping others is important to you, please contact me. I would love to work with you. Thank you.